where should couples splurge on florals and where can they pare back?
So when it comes to this, I think photos. Yes. So think about these areas that are going to have all your photos. So the first one is yourself.
Yes.
So you want your bouquet or the main bouquet to be super special, have all the nicest flowers, be absolutely beautiful, exactly what you want. Then look at your aisle. So this is where you get the magic of the vows. Yes. Again, everybody's watching this beautiful ceremony take place. So think of something big for your aisle, perhaps like your urns or a lovely backdrop. And then the final one, I would say to splurge, would be your top table. Because like it or not, everybody is looking at you, taking photos of you through that whole afternoon. Then to cut back a little bit, your guest tables. Okay. So you still want something on your guest tables, but something a bit smaller, a smaller arrangement perhaps, or some bud vases mixed with lovely candles. That's just one way of bringing that colour and that theme through without absolutely breaking the bank. But also think where you can reuse your arrangements. Yeah. So if you do your ceremony well, you can use your backdrop behind your top table or urns at the side of your top table, anything like meadows, like what we've got down here. So these will add quite a little bit to your ceremony in that sort of like specialness, but these can be moved to in front of your top table. So if you can repurpose something, you can save a little bit of money that way.
I think as well, speak to your florist and your stylist about that, because that's where you guys can really advise. So actually, if you are going to repurpose what you've had in your ceremony for the wedding reception, I'm guessing you can integrate the design into that and how it sits. So for my wedding, I had the most beautiful flowers, and we'd had them dotted all around the ceremony, and then we transported them to put them on the table, but didn't consider the fact there wasn't a bottom on them. So then all the mud from the flowers was on the table, and then also they were too high, so we couldn't speak across to each other. So I was like, let's move them. And then that's when we realised that there was all this mud from the bottom of the flowers. So yeah, it's definitely speak to your florist, I think, and figure that out.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we've had in the past is a lot of people that say, well, I'm going to use my bridesmaid bouquets or my own bouquet on the table. It's something that I don't actually recommend because first and foremost, your bouquets are created for you to hold. Yeah. If you then put them in the middle of your table, they're quite big. Even if you've got a jar, they can flop to one side. They don't sit particularly well. So definitely use them, maybe around your cake table or your card table. But when it comes to your tables, have table-specific items that will sit really well, photograph well, and won't get in the way of people's view. Because people want to see you at the end of the day. They don't want to be sort of having their vision obscured by a bouquet that the bridesmaids just plonked in the vase.
Yeah. I agree with that. And as well, there's different ways of adding height and creating that see-through piece, but still having the flowers on the top of the the stand, isn't there? So you can still have that overall impact. But then consider the guest experience in it as well.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, so you can have the tall arrangements still, but make sure that what they're standing on is going to just give your guests, as you say, the best experience that they can have.